Open Security Summit without a Wardley map would be definitely too boring. So this is my attempt at creating a Wardley map of threat modeling. For those of you who do not know what Wardley mapping are, it's a method to analyze the components of a system or technologies that might evolve in time to see where you want to put your bets, right? It's trying to predict a little bit the future and take your strategical decisions based on something more than hocus pocus. So where I would say that the visibility ends from the consumer of your report is right after the report, right? So you will have a report which is created by the security architect or someone. This report will have two primary consumers, developers, system owners, and here with the system owners, we could put compliance officers, information security officers, you name it. You know your company better than I do. This group on the right-hand side is interested in risk. What is the risk? Can the system go live? This system on the left, these people on the left, these users on the left are interested in countermeasures. Now, if you have countermeasures coming from a report and risk coming from a report, you need a methodology to make sure that you get something of value, right? And the methodology will be giving you a few things. One is rating. How are you rating your scenarios? How are you rating your vulnerabilities? How are you rating risk coming out of it? Do you even have to rate risk? Or are you subject to the overhead of the risk management process on top of you? The methodology will also tell you how to track findings or the application of countermeasures. The methodology will also help you create threat models. And threat models, we basically need two big things. One is the modeling phase, the architectural diagram, and the other one is the threat scenarios themselves. Threat scenarios are built then, as I was showing in the previous diagram, by a threat agent who is capable of producing an exploit on an exposed vulnerability of the system. See, these are the three elements. If I look at automatic tools like the threat modeling tool from Microsoft, you will see that the threat modeling tool from Microsoft has no concept of a threat agent, has a concept of exploits being used, and it basically moves the head, allows this exploit finding to evolve a little bit to the right. The problem with that is it's extremely noisy because it is not necessarily considering the vulnerabilities. Considering vulnerabilities is it's a lot harder problem, I think. There might be some evolution here, but I'm not sure when or how that will be. And today, even in the non-evolved state, we can take a good library of threat agents is the threat agent library from Intel 2007, sorry. If you need exploits for different technologies, different systems, ICS, IT, Kubernetes, automotive even, there are attack matrices and KPEC from Mitre. If you need vulnerabilities, you might look at CWE, and something that I find often neglected when everyone talks about threat modeling is design principles. And architectural diagrams can also be based on the C4 model. And here is where I expect to be the most development in the future, because good diagrams that allow both the security team and the developing team, the product team, to work hand in hand and to keep them up to date, which are not cumbersome and which not involve changing the tools that you're using to create them, and which can be maintained as code, is probably where there will be a big barrier of acceptance, first of all, because some people are really in love with Visio, but Visio has challenges with creating only binary files or diagram files. And very often a person leaves the company and just leaves the PNG or the JPEG, but does not leave the Visio file. So it's impossible to update the diagram. I mean, raise your hand if you have never had to babysit a diagram that was created 1 or 2 years back and never updated because someone left the company and no one wants to do it. So a combination of automatic architectural diagram generation, which might be informed on vulnerabilities, I think that's where the future of threat modeling might be found, but I have no idea how complex that will be a challenge. But those are things that you can evolve even if there are no